Economic Development Commission has looked at that about 2, 3, 4 years ago, and the community development redid their whole process, trying to make that more smooth. We also got help in some of the inspections and things like that from the county, got an intergovernmental agreement. So that was probably 3 years ago, I think we did that. And then also Economic Development Commission, usually we have a discussion at least twice a year about what are the hindrances that we can try to, the roadblocks, trying to knock down to make things, flow. But, it's just that information. But that's on the City Council's economic development. That's on the commission level of the economic development. We've had those discussions. And there's been some major changes over the past few years, but, getting a better understanding here for the other councilors would probably be, through the study, would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of a broad topic. I'm not sure how to even really respond, because there's, but we certainly can provide, everything from what Coos Curry Douglas County CCD does in terms of small business development, to small business development office up at UCC, to the bigger projects that we've been involved with in terms of facilitating, Costco development to, we see everything from A to Z when it comes to that type of development. And if the numbers are any indication of where we're at in terms of, any success we've had, as the residential market has dropped pretty precipitously, and in our economy, we've seen, a pretty decent rise in the amount of business and industry type applications in terms of what we're looking at adding to our tax base over the next year, to where you've seen a lot of other communities that are going the other direction. But I think it's always a good opportunity to get information out about what the city is actively involved in. We have a link on our website that's specifically around economic development, that links people into all the different resources that we offer in terms of small and large business development, and specifically around issues around building codes and those types of things. As the attorney mentioned, some of those changes involve, we're usually the agency that's responsible for enforcing fire codes and different things that come from state and federal types of mandates. But that doesn't mean we continue to try to inform and educate so that people are successful in that process. And but be happy to share all that information, and kind of where we want to go with some of that is always a good opportunity, I think.
Tom.
Well, on the first one, I would like to hear a staff report on why that isn't in that zone. I'm not sure that we should be taking it on, or if it should go to the Planning Commission. There might be a reason for it. I don't know. If you're saying beauty shops, I'm thinking that smell of a permanent that I wouldn't want in my neighborhood. So that might be why it's not in there. So
I think that might have been the original reason, and maybe there needs to be a distinction.
I don't know, but I'd like to hear the staff say. But on your second one, I think that what you're asking and what I would like to see is, hey, I want to open a place to sell donuts. Who do I see? What steps do I have to go through? Just step by step on, what the fire marshal does. We don't have to. I don't think we need to go into as much depth as you're talking about. But who do we see? Who do they see? And how do we start a business? If you could just give us a quick overview on that.
Yeah, I think if that's what you're specifically looking.
Is that what you want?
I guess I was.
I think that's a good idea to have that available. I also think to discuss that also, to have that available in some sort of a brochure or online or something, but also just to step back in the mirror and look at what it is when somebody comes and ends up very frustrated through the process, and why did that happen? And what can we do, if anything, to remove some of those roadblocks? And
I agree, unless we know the process, we can't.
I can just tell you, for every one of the ones that we have at our meetings, there's probably 5 or 6 other stories out there.
undoubtedly.
People are successful in working, coming to staff and understanding
It's just
processes. So, but if you're looking for some kind of a flow chart or whatever that takes you through the development process, we have that type of information as well. I could share.
Have no executive session, so meeting is adjourned.